Hello everyone, Grigory here from Margal Electro. Right now we are at the battery manufacturing facility. And in this video I'm going to tell you about the new line of batteries from Margal Electro. Over our 6 years of working and selling electric motor equipment, we've encountered a huge number of battery defects, especially in the budget segments of electric motorcycles. That's why, as soon as we got to China, the first thing we did was set up quality control for battery production and launch our own brand of batteries. We aimed for the highest possible quality, so that even in budget electric bikes, people could get a good battery. Here are the main differences between our batteries and those that currently come with budget electric bikes. First, we use only premium quality cells, always brand new, from CATL or EVE. Second, we use only prismatic cells to make repairs easier. Third, we use the highest quality BMS from Ant, which is currently the most reliable choice for modern battery packs. Fourth, a durable case, not a thin, not the ever-rattling stainless steel used in most budget motorcycle batteries. And finally, the battery is fully potted with compound for complete waterproofing. We will show you the full production cycle of such battery packs using a motorcycle battery as an example. A Panigale with a 5 kilowatt motor, 120 amp hours, 72 volts. To start, I want to draw your attention to the fact that the entire battery production cycle follows this process. Here is a checklist where every stage is recorded and double-checked. And as I already mentioned, we use only new cells from premium brands in every battery we make. In this build, we used CATL. At the first stage, the cells are tested for internal resistance and sorted into groups with identical characteristics. The sorted cells are then assembled into blocks for further assembly. Next, plates for soldering are laser welded onto the cells that have already been assembled into a block. After that, each weld is checked for strength to avoid any mishaps. Next, the cell blocks with the already welded contact plates are securely fastened together, gradually forming the overall shape of the future battery. After that, balancing wires from the BMS are carefully laid out along the battery block, which will then be connected to each cell. Then comes the soldering of the balancing wires and the power plates that connect the blocks and cells together. After all the wires have been soldered and the BMS is in its proper place, the next step is to check all the cells through the balancing wires. all the cells have passed the check, which means it's time to connect the BMS. So the battery's internals are ready, but before placing it in the case and sealing it, it must be thoroughly tested. In the first test, a high current is quickly passed through the battery. Both during charging and discharging, deviations are monitored as well as other parameters. They check internal resistance, cell voltage drop, and other parameters. In the second test, the battery undergoes 3 full charge and discharge cycles with high currents. Our battery, made from Karlov cells with a capacity of 117 ampere hours, was charged at 40 amperes and discharged at 100 amperes. Throughout this entire process, its temperature was constantly monitored to prevent overheating. By the way, regarding the durable case for our batteries, this is what it looks like. It's made of quite a dense material, and the inside of the box is lined with fiberglass laminate. After the battery successfully passed all the tests, a compound is prepared for pouring into its case. For the size of our battery, it took as much as 6 kilograms. And by the way, for those who don't know what the compound is for, there are 2 main reasons. First, the compound efficiently absorbs more heat and performs better. It dissipates the heat, allowing the battery to overheat less. And secondly, it's total and absolute waterproofing. Since we fill all the space inside the case, there's absolutely no air left inside. Even if water is poured directly onto the battery under high pressure, there's simply nowhere for it to get in. The next step is to carefully place the entire cell block into the case and pour in the compound. After 2 hours, the compound fully hardens and allows us to move on to the next stage. On the battery lid, we attach the power connector, an additional charging port, a voltmeter, and a carrying handle. Next, we connect the power connector to the battery wires. Don't worry here, the battery is turned off and there's no voltage present. And we close the lid. Before securing the lid, we manually activate the BMS. We power up the battery, check that the voltmeter is functioning correctly, and then seal it completely. We weigh the finished battery, and for 117 amp hours, we got 48.3 kilograms. 0.05 kilograms, which is quite good considering that 6 kilograms of that is compound. Now we take the battery to the final stage of production, laser engraving. The first engraving, which is on top of the battery, is purely informational. It lists the chemical composition, the battery's specifications, voltage, amp hours, the nominal capacity of the battery, that is kilowatt hours, and the voltage it should be charged with. Which BMS is installed here, and based on that, what is the maximum current you can draw from this battery? The name of this BMS for Bluetooth connection, the factory serial number of this battery, and the date it was manufactured. The second engraving is smaller in size. The C-Margil Electro logo, which, when you see it, leaves no doubt about the quality of this battery. So, what did we end up with? We have this beautiful little battery, C-Margil Electro logo, a huge 350 amp Anderson that will handle any load this battery can give. We have it on top, C-Margil Electro. Here we have the chemical composition of NCM. Below is the specification 72 volts, 120 amp hours. Nominal energy 8.64 kilowatt hours. Charging voltage is the voltage you need to use to charge it. 84 volts, there are 20 cells here. below is which BMS is installed. On BMS for 300 amps. Even lower, we have the Bluetooth name for connecting to the BMS. Below that is the battery serial number. And finally, we have the specific date of manufacture. This is what all of this important information looks like. The password for the BMS via Bluetooth is provided directly to each customer individually when purchasing the battery. Let's see what's next. Right here we have a built-in voltmeter. If you remove the battery for the winter, for example, from an electric motorcycle, you take it off for the winter. You can easily check the voltage and see if you need to recharge it or not, but to recharge it, not with this huge Anderson connector, which is already connected to the motorcycle, to the controller. There is a special charging port. This one right here, you can supply a maximum of 20 amps here, but we never charge it with more than 15 amps. So if you plan to take the battery out of, say, your electric motorcycle for the cold winter months and want to charge it up, you can get yourself an extra dedicated charger with this specific kind of connector for 84 volts and 15 amps, and then you can easily charge it right at home. But most importantly, this battery is made from high quality, premium grade and completely brand new prismatic cells. And if anything happens, it will be very easy to repair, even though with other batteries, once they are potted or the packs are sealed, you simply cannot get them out or fix them at all. Here you can easily open everything up if it is ever needed. And for example, if there's ever a need, you can replace one of the prismatic cells. Secondly, as I have previously pointed out, it features an AN BMS with a sturdy outer casing that doesn't flex at all and is completely potted. Yes, of course, this design choice added an extra 6 kilograms to the battery's overall weight, but I truly think it was worth it. And now, this battery isn't afraid of accidental drops, heavy impacts, and certainly not the rain, or maybe even being completely submerged in water. If you still have questions about CMark Belo Electra battery packs, write them in the comments or follow the link in the description.